Tonight I'd like to speak to you about the 5 steps to unlimited success and stress-free living. And all of us probably are looking forward to how on earth can we do that. And what we need to look at first is what holds us back from having that type of life that we've all desired. And it all starts with our thoughts, and our thoughts create, and they either create what we don't want or they create what we do want. And in this case, what holds us back is our negative thoughts immediately create something, and that is our emotions, our feelings, and that creates negative feelings. And that then creates the things we don't want. It also, on what holds us back, is really understanding who we are and the magnificent creative individuals that we each are. And then we have a lack of goal setting, prioritizing, and planning, or what I call pre-paving the corridor of your life. That it is possible to achieve the type of life that you've all desired, and that successful life balance. But to do that, there's a lot of things that we have to juggle, a lot of balls in the air in order to manage. It's our business, career, our personal finances, our family, home, our education. Mentally, educationally, what are we doing to grow our physical, our health? Probably the most important thing for us to have good feeling thoughts is to have first good health. And from good health, it's much easier to have good thoughts and then good feelings and then the life that we've desired. And then also socially and culturally, and how we're giving back, as well as our own spiritual or ethical. And there we go, getting the picture right there. And spiritual and ethically. So we have a lot of things to balance. And so how do we effectively balance it? The answer is we can, and we can have the ultimate life that we've always desired, and a harmonious, prosperous life, and with unlimited success and zero resistance or stress. And resistance is the thing that continues to inhibit us from achieving what we have all desired. So we have thousands of success stories over the past 17 years that we've used in order to, using this time-proven process, that have helped people. In fact, just today, I was helping a client who earned in profit this month $9,000 incremental dollars. We also work with people. This process can help with anything. We had a child that was very rambunctious, took the child to the doctor, and they put the child on drugs, and that has changed now to where, because the mother created on how she wanted that child to be, and with her mind was able to change that child, and that child no longer is on drugs, and that was as of yesterday. So we have diagnostic tools as well that can measure your stress and show you how to decrease that stress and multiply your success. So there's a 5-step process for creation, and it all starts with your thought. And so our thought all of our thoughts are basically our desires. And we either are going to think 2 things, either what we don't want or what we want. So I'll give you a real easy example. When you say, oh gosh, I hope there isn't a lot of traffic this morning, you're calling in a lot of traffic because you're thinking lots of traffic. That vibrates lots of traffic, sends the universe a message, give me lots of traffic, and so I get what I don't want. It's incredible. And we are thinking all the time, boy, I hope I don't get sick. I hope I'm not late. And so all of these negative things that we end up turning into what we do not want. And so we think we're asking for, we've all been promised what you ask for, you'll receive. And then we say, where's my stuff? You know, I asked and I didn't receive it. Well, I've been asking for the things I don't want. So it's a matter of disciplining our mind to understand the difference between what we want and what we don't want. We also want to have good feeling thoughts. It's all about feelings. We've been taught not to even show our feelings. And the fact is that our feelings are the essence of our nature. And with our feelings that we create, but it all starts with our thoughts. So our thoughts then manifest immediately our emotions, and our emotions then vibrate and communicate to the universe on what we want, and the universe then will allow us, and we will be able to receive the things that we have desired. So there's 4 areas that we think in, and these are called 4 zones that we first think, then feel, and act in. And we're going to look at those 4 zones and help you to understand where your thoughts are and how you can effectively live in the green zone. There's 3 red zones where you don't want to be, and then 1 green zone where you do want to be. So the first zone we're going to look at is the zone where we know what we want, but we do it real urgently. This is where life managers meet. Did you ever get it, like the beginning of the day, you say, well, I'm going to get all these things done. By the end of the day, you say, I didn't get any of those things done. And so, what happened? Where'd the day go? And what happens is that we have life managing us. The phone rings, the different interruptions, we don't do what we want. And instead, we think about what is. So we say, well, this is how it is. This is the averages. This is the odds. This is how my normal day is. And the more we think of what is, the more we're going to get the same old thing. So if we have days that we feel like we're not really managing life, those are the days we're in this red zone. And it's kind of like we jump out of the plane and then we realize, I forget that darn parachute. And so you want to make sure before you jump out of the plane that you have a plan and you pre-paved your life. The net result living in that zone is it decreases our success and it increases our stress. The second zone, another red zone, something we want to get away from with our thoughts, is it's what we don't want, but we do it urgently. And so what is that? That's busy work. And so let's give an example. Saturday morning you wake up and you say, I'm going to clean out the closet and I'm going to go do this. So you wake up, you have some coffee, you start reading the paper, you start watching the TV. Pretty soon it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you haven't gotten that done. And so also interruptions. Any of you have any interruptions in your life?
Of course.
Yeah. And we've allowed those interruptions, and there are ways to actually manage those interruptions. And in essence, most of the time when we're in this zone, we're saying, so what? We're not focused on what our desires are, and it's just kind of whatever life does, and we kind of get pushed around. And so it's kind of like a chicken running around with its head cut off, but going nowhere in life. Net result, decreases our success, increases our stress. So the third zone is probably the zone that we've been in most often in our lives that we live in. And this is another red zone, but it's where we're thinking about what we don't want, and we do that non-urgently. And this is where the committee resides. And the committee is in our head, this small little voice that's telling us, oh, how could have you done that? Why'd you do this? I should have had that. Oh, my poor story, my background story, my old story that I have. And so the committee members, imagine in your head there's a big, beautiful mahogany table, and sitting around that table are different characters of this committee. And the first one is fear. And fear takes us away from the things that we want, and fear is actually an acronym meaning false evidence appearing real. We also have worry, doubts, shame, guilt, embarrassment, blaming. All of those committee thoughts prevent us from the things that we desire. So we had a bad past, we have a bad life now, and even worse, we're going to have a terrible future. And so everybody can understand to your committee those thoughts that keep you away from what you desire? And the bottom line is it decreases our success and increases our stress. Okay, so we're back now to talking about Zone 3. And Zone 3 is where we invest, unfortunately, or spend most of our time, and that is this committee where we have fear, worry, doubt, complaint, blame, shame, and we hang on to these old stories of our past. And so the past is dead, but we liven them up, and we sprinkle even more stuff about how bad they were. And so it ends up not being what we desire. So, I'm a motivational speaker, and so you say, well, this hasn't been very motivational. That pretty depressing, in fact, that, these 3 different zones. But the good news is that we are going to the green zone. And what I do is I help people with this process live in the green zone where I manage life, where what I do is I'm doing things that what I want, what I desire, and I'm doing it non-urgently. I'm doing it with ease and grace. I'm flowing with life. And so this is where I am the creator of my life. Every experience, I create it. And most of us, there's a lot of responsibility in this teaching because it says that, hey, whatever happened to you or is happening to you or will happen to you, you created it. And most of us have given away our power, though, and say, well, I don't create the weather. Oh, yes, you do. You have been so conditioned to look at the weather in the morning and say, wow, they're telling me it's hot, and then you're saying it's hot, and you're complaining to people it's hot, and it ends up being hot. I ask every morning for a nice cool breeze here in Dallas in the summer, for a nice cool breeze to come through, and it comes through when I sit outside. And so, again, just one example on where we think that, things are happening to us when really we are the creator. We're the inviter. And what I think, the more I can think about what will be, the better my life will be as long as I'm thinking about what I want. The net result is it increases our success and it decreases our stress. So that's step one, our thoughts. And mainly just get from that is I just need good feeling thoughts and to live in that green zone, thinking about what will be. And as I do that, the better it'll get. And pretty soon I get used to having things that just getting better and better all the time, instead of the opposite like many people say. Step two is immediately you create. You're such a creator that we don't even realize it because it happens to us so instantly that when we think of something, that automatically those thoughts go into our feelings. And those feelings is a vibration. And our vibration is what communicates our desire to the universe. It's a tremendous understanding of this vibration. In fact, I just completed a book, Think, Feel, and Grow Rich, that it comes from the book originally Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in there that we found that the original script had listed 37 times vibration, and that they edited it out in the publication on it because it was too much for people to handle. You can't say vibration. So I am saying loud and clear here, there is a vibration, we all give it off, and it sends messages to the universe, and we start it all with our thought. And so we either have good vibration that manifests what we don't want, or bad vibration that manifests what we do, good vibration for what we do want, bad vibration for what we don't want. The beauty of this is like, wow, this sounds maybe a little complex. How do I know that? Just ask yourself, do I feel good or do I feel bad? And whatever the answer is, if you're feeling good, you're having those good feeling thoughts. So it's quite simple. We've had a communication process since we were babies. Like people say, well, no, babies aren't creators. Oh, yes, they are. They run the household, right? And so the hidden secret, in fact, Napoleon Hill mentioned the hidden secret all the time. He kept on saying the hidden secret 27 times in this book he did, and he never was clear about what the hidden secret was. That's because the hidden secret was in the word vibration. And so it's the missing secret that you'll understand on how to be able to manifest. So these emotions, I just wanted to get into these emotions that we create. And so let's look first at the bad vibration, because again, we need to understand this contrast that we had. And I was just speaking with Corey about this contrast that we have on, why do we have bad stuff happen? Well, it's really not bad stuff, it's contrast. It helps us understand what we do want. But our bad vibration, the lowest level is when we are disempowered, when we have fear. And so when we feel like we're disempowered, we're a victim, we're so misaligned with God. We're on the other side of God, and we're not in vibration with all that there is. And so, like in psychology, that they've really got it wrong. Like they'll be working with some people that are disempowered, and that person suddenly becomes angry, and they go, "Don't get angry," and so then the person goes back to being disempowered. Fact is, anger is a better emotion than disempowerment, than fear. Okay, and so it's good to be angry. Get that anger out, face that, whatever your fears are, and then you start working up the ladder, if you will, of emotion. Now, in this doubt, where doubt is listed there, that's about at a 44% on the emotional level. The highest is 100%, and the average person is at about 44%. They're under the line. They're under bad vibrations, and they think life is rough and tough and a struggle. And so, if you just listen to people, that you'll see that, yeah, most of the people are thinking that way. So what we want to do is we want to take the leap of faith. And taking the leap of faith goes into belief. So when I take that leap of faith and I say, you know what, I'm going to just believe that I do control that. I'm going to believe that there's a source that's within me that will provide all that I desire, and that I take that leap of faith, and when I do, I land into belief. And that then puts me into some good vibrations and puts me in a mode of allowing, and I allow my good to happen. There is only one stream that flows, and it's the stream of good that flows to us. In our lives, when we feel that there isn't good, it's because we have cut off, with our negative thoughts and bad vibrations, we've cut off the stream of good. So it appears in our lifetime, as we are experiencing life, that, wow, there's evil or there's some other source that's coming. There is no other source. It's just we've cut ourselves away from the only source that there is. And so that then gets you to the point where you're at a state of appreciation, of gratitude, of love, of charity, empowerment, of oneness with God. And by being there, that all of your desires are there. Everything that you've ever wanted is there. And I have a process to show you how to get there. The third step is easy. We don't have to do any work. So the first step is we think good feeling thoughts about what we desire. The second step is we vibrate to those thoughts. And the third step is the universe delivers. One of the reasons why many people are after more money and want more money is because they think there isn't enough. Well, there's plenty of money. In other words, what happens is when you ask the universe a desire and you want something of it, the universe doesn't go steal it from somebody else and give it to you. The universe makes more of it. So, example of money. 100 years ago, there were no millionaires. Now there's thousands of millionaires. 20 years ago, there were only a couple billionaires. Now there's over 400 billionaires. So there's plenty of money. And where did that money come from? Did we get it from another planet, or what did we do? No, the universe was able to expand it. So there's plenty of everything. There's plenty of time, plenty of money, plenty of all the things that we desire. And so this is where God does the how. And so our responsibility is that we need to understand what we want, but not figure out how we're going to do it. God will figure it out and will fill your cup until it overflows. And I don't know, at this point right here, if you understand that and get out of the how, that's God's work. And every time you start working on how, I can guarantee you won't get your desires. Okay? So you have to take that leap of faith to realize that I just identify what I want and why I want it, so I feel good. And then the universe goes and delivers the how. And then the universe will provide, and how does it do it? Through our thoughts, through other people, through circumstances, events, unheard of with us. The people that I work with, they call it out of the blue. Out of the blue circumstances happen to them all the time. I'll give you an example that I was working with a client today. She goes, out of the blue, 2.5 weeks ago, a client called me, and this was a real estate agent. And and this was a real estate agent. And out of the blue, that she said she gets a call from this person that wants to buy a home right away, and buys it in 2.5 weeks. Pretty much unheard of. And that's what she was requesting, though, is that she would have people, these clients, that would close homes quickly and be able to contact her out of the blue. So for you to have out of the blue experiences, you can have them every day. You can have a magical day every day. And the fourth step is that we allow. And what do we allow? There's only this one stream of good that flows, and we open up and we say that, and we realize there is no source of evil or bad, that we just allow the good life to come to us. And so when we're in a state of doubt, when we're saying, hey, things are missing, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough happiness or love or whatever, all that means is that I am disallowing my good to come. I typically don't feel that I'm worthy. And worthy comes from a bunch of different places where you were basically brought up, told you were not worthy, and that you, in fact, are worthy. And so methods to allow include states of appreciation, gratefulness, and meditation. Okay? And then finally, the fifth step is we receive. And all of our desires are then drawn onto us. God's desire is to have our desires fulfilled. There's nothing too small or too big for God to deliver to you, from a trinket to a castle. No effort whatsoever in order to do it. All we need to do is ask. And as we ask, there's more created, never taking away from anyone. So, to discover your desires, people don't know who they really are, what they really want. And so we'll help you to discover who you are and what you want, what you desire. And I have never met anybody that really knows what they desire when I ask them initially, what do you desire? Whether it's a business goal on what specific measurable improvement you would like in the business, that whatever they say is not quite that. It's something else, and you have to dig deeper in order to really understand what you desire. And we can help you with that. So one of the ways to understand yourself is through diagnostic tools. And we have the world's leading statistically accurate and valid diagnostic tools that can measure your personality, your behavior, your motivations or values, your core talents, and your emotional quotient. Have any of you heard of EQ before? Emotional quotient. And so this actually measures your emotional quotient so that you can identify where the areas are that you're good in to leverage, and then areas that you might want to improve in. So computers have manuals, why don't people? And now we do. And so we have a way in order to measure your stress and be able to help you reduce your stress, as well as to increase your success. So top performers use coaches. So we have an entire coaching, diagnostic tools and coaching program. And that, every major corporation that's successful has coaches. Every major athlete that I know of has coaches. Self-employed individuals, those that with coaches, that you can't do it on your own. I have 3 coaches that I work with, so I know I'm a testament to that. And so we've had incredible results. In fact, such incredible results that we guarantee over a 400% return on investment. And usually our clients get over 1,000% return on their investment. And if you go to gmresults.com, you can see all kinds of, there's hundreds of letters of recommendation on very specific measurable improvements that happen. And so you want to become a top performer, you want to have more happiness, have more of your desires come true, that one of the ways to do that is to, we have our 4 different assessments that are available, our diagnostic tools, and those retail at $300 each, and we have them available to you for $149. And then the process that I recommend, the most value, that I've had individuals pay me $20,000 for this program, and it's only $297 a month. It's an annual program that we have, and it's a time-proven coaching program. And in that, you get 1 month of success implementation with a telecast, 1 month of pre-paving your month, basically pre-paving your life. For example, we're only going to get next month one time, and so how do we make the most of it? How do we make the best of it? And then you'll also get a hard copy of the CD, our newsletter, and then 3 private calls with me. And then bonus gifts. Look at free stuff. Where's my stuff? Well, we're going to give you free stuff here. And so first of all, we're going to give you the behavior. With the coaching program, you'll get the behavioral assessment. You'll also get the entire course manual of 2 Year Success, the time-proven process that has been used by thousands of companies and people. The audio of 2 Year Success in CD and MP3. You'll get the course book, along with an entire My Time, called My Time, and that basically is a time management system for 1 year, and along with the daily and monthly calendar. And so all that is valued at $997, but free with your coaching, monthly coaching. So you can test drive it. It's 100% 60-day ironclad money-back guarantee. And we'll promise that you'll get at least a 400% return on investment, or if not, you get your investment returned. And we have a 60 full-day test drive for you. And like I had said, that over about 1,000% typically you'll get on a return on investment. For every dollar you put in, that you'll get about $100 back. So with that, all you need to do if you're interested is to contact me. And so there's my number and my email. And then we're just starting a new website called VesselSuccessInstitute.com, and we'll have on YouTube our testimonials also under Dr. Hank's sites.